Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're installing the software and putting this product on the network right here, the Officejet Pro from Hewlett-Packard X551dw. These have a page width printhead and really fast speeds. And there's two models. The wireless version is $599.99. The network cabled version, Ethernet, is $449.99, but you also get a 6 page per minute increase in speed with the wireless version. It's 42 pages a minute in the best ISO laser quality mode, and it's up to 60 pages a minute in a general office mode, which would be satisfactory for all filing and correspondence applications, except if you're going to send something out to a customer or a business client, you would be forced to slow it down to 42. Nevertheless, for the money, you're getting quite a bit of speed here. Now, we did the video yesterday, and we had a demo unit. So it didn't come with a CD-ROM, so I had to download the software from the HP.com support. Alright, so right now it's 9:44 a.m. So let's run this and see what happens. Of course, it's extracting it first. Put that away. Put that away. So that extraction took 3 minutes. That will not, you have a CD-ROM. You're not going to have to wait for that. So now we're up to 9:47. And this procedure should replicate the installation process. Okay, this looks very familiar. I recommend that you do this customized software selection because you probably don't want this Bing bar. And you're not so sure whether you want extra software to do product improvement studies for HP that will be sending information back and forth across the internet. Since we're testing this, I might as well keep the help, update, and product improvement study. But if you're doing it at home, the only one you probably need is the printer help. So next. Yes, I have reviewed this. Well, no, I haven't reviewed it, but if I don't check this, I can't click next. HP is pushing this color lock paper, and it's probably a good idea. It's designed for inkjet technology. This big logo is on the package of paper that you can buy. It's installing the basic device software. This is a printer, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of stuff being installed. MFPs have scanning and copying and all kinds of address books that need to be installed. So this is just a printer, so it should be a lot faster. And your installation will probably be faster because this screen recorder slows down this process a little bit. Okay, a couple of icons just popped up on the screen here. The console, if I click this, be the same as clicking on the printer and the printer and devices folder, and then the shop for HP supplies. Now it's installing 2 of 4 product improvement study. Now for HP update. which will, you can all click it and check to make sure that your software is up to date. And questionable whether it checks to see if your firmware is up to date as well. 404, it's installing the help. Okay. Alright, we already have it hooked up wired. Found the printer. Next. It's installing the printer on the network. I'm not sure why that last step took so long, but now we're up to 13 minutes. Successful network installation. Now it's probably going to want us to register it and set up Eprint. Okay, it's not, drive light's not flickering, anything like that, so let's see what it installed. Okay, we have help, we have the console, diagnostic tools, the improvement study. If you want to go back and add or remove software, there's printer setup in software, the product support website, shop for supplies, uninstall, update IP address. I get a lot of questions on YouTube about losing IP addresses when people change routers and after power outages. So this is what you would use to update the address after you get it from the control panel. It's easy to find. You just tap the network button on the main screen of the control panel and it'll tell you what the IP address is, and you go into this utility and enter the new address to get it back online again. It works the same for all HP Officejets. And then there's wireless printing online help. So the only thing for us to look at is the console, which is available there. It's available there, and there's also when you click the printer in Devices and Printers folder, or the printer folder in Windows XP. Okay, it's called the HP Printer Assistant. It's got a new name and looks like it's web-based. While we're waiting for that, let's... Okay, this used to be an executable. Now it looks like it's running in a browser. In fact, it is. I can see the Internet Explorer thing there. So you set up ePrint here, which will let you print any document by sending it as an email attachment, and it'll automatically print it out. I don't know what. You can change the name, security settings, other properties. This would be equivalent to right-clicking in the devices and printers on the printer and saying properties, and that's what. Okay, it's asking whether we want to see ink alerts right away or only when I print. So only when we print. Okay, so when you customize your printer, this probably never do this, but if you want to rename it, share it, etc. See what's printing is equivalent to. All right, do your part. Look for these features. This is an environmental impact thing. Okay, now it wants us to it's going through the registration process right now, and maybe the product improvement information. Alright, so this, you double click on this, you see the print queue. You click on this, you see the print queue. There's nothing in the print queue. This is align and clean ink cartridges. Set preferences. This is equivalent to right-clicking the printer and devices in printer and selecting print preferences. And then we'll quickly go to the printer homepage and go over that briefly. Okay. I'm still waiting for this preferences thing to pop open. But customize your printer would be printer properties, the equivalent to customize your printer. Printing preferences would be printing preferences, so you can do it here from the folder rather than going into this utility here. So let's put this away. Let's see, utilities, help, shop, Eprint Center. In the meantime, it should be similar to the 8600. It's got the latest HP print drivers. Oh no, we got a full-blown print driver here again after having that basic driver for a while. And advanced. Over here, something you might want to see is print text as black, and okay, nothing too important there, but on these shortcuts, you can set up, recall different shortcuts. You can save shortcuts, name them. So if you set up, say, a black and white job, you can save it as a black and white job. Man, this is really slow. Something is, let's close a couple things. So when I switch to Echo Smart settings, you can see that it activated duplexing. And then also, like I said, you can set black and white here and then have a black and white job to save ink, because the black ink cartridge is much larger than the color ink cartridges and cheaper cost per page. And then paper quality, that's all here. Paper sizes, paper source, paper type. I'm not sure why you would need to go here, except to do custom sizes and to do custom resolution and change your overall print quality. Effects should be watermark, resizing, watermarks. Finishing should be collate, reverse print, duplexing, and up. Booklets, color, The print in grayscale, which still uses color, but a lot less. And then services should be diagnostic tools, support and troubleshooting, product manuals, check for driver updates. This takes you to various web pages. So that's the print driver. Let's take a look at the embedded web server. You can get that by clicking in the whatever this thing's called, printer assistant, or you can enter the IP address in your web browser, and this page can be customized. You can add and subtract these different modules here, but it's showing the ink status, some shortcuts here, network status, ePrint status, and web services is your ePrint and web apps page. You can install applications from the ePrint website, as well as go to the website and specify the address, the email address that this is going to have for when you send ePrint print jobs to it via email. And not much else going on this page, but it's important for you to get this connected, and you do that during the installation process, and then you go, it prints out a email code. You go to eprint.com, which you can get to here. We'll look at it in a few minutes, and enter in the code that they give you, and it connects this online. Your network settings, it's pretty straightforward. Wired, wireless direct printing, which bypasses the network and goes directly to the device. And then your advanced networking settings. Tools. Here's your printer information, firmware, page count, basic page counts. Ink gauge tells you a little bit more details on what your ink supply is. In ink settings, you can have for your low ink notification. You can set its default to when it sends you an email because your ink is getting low. This is your usage reports. Tells you total pages, black and white, color, duplex, jams, misfeeds, mispicks, and your paper sizes, and US letter and A4, how many you've printed. This is your printer reports. You probably never need that. The event log tells you stuff that's happened. This bookmarking is setting a static IP address. People have asked about that. And this is your print quality tools. This asset tracking lets you assign a name and number so you can track over the network. And backup restore would be all the settings in here. Job monitor. It's basically the same thing as the event log. And then restart the printer here, and then finally settings. This is all of your date, time, color lock, brightness, passwords, administrative passwords, your email alerts, set up the server, set up the addresses, and set up what you want emails sent for. So ink cartridge missing, expired, empty, low, printhead error, etc. You can have emails sent when any of these events occur. Restore defaults, and then your firewall rules. So that's the embedded web server. And the Eprint Center, this is where you set up your apps and and your ePrint settings. Okay, you have to sign in. This is on the internet. I'm doing it in a web browser. Log in. Okay, we have 4 different printers here, and you select them on these tabs. Okay, here's the Officejet Pro. Now, if you want to here's the address that I would send an email to, and it would print the attachment. You can change that. You can also right now we have anybody can send an ePrint jobs to this printer, but you can also allow certain senders only. You can have it print in color or grayscale by default, and certain paper sizes by default. And then you can set up Google Cloud Print in this tab here. And here are your apps that are installed on the control panel. So go to the control panel and you click the apps button. You can go to Stock and print out forms and business documents. You can get the Times Digest. You can get a menu planner. These things could get printouts Sudoku, quick forms, TV schedules, comics, paper airplanes, Financial Times. All these things can be, there's Hot Wheels. You can remove it just by clicking this, or you can add new apps by going to Get More Apps. If I had this printer for more than a couple of days, I would get rid of most of this stuff off of here. But some of the stuff, some of the forms and standard forms and other apps are very useful. Some of them you can print out certain kinds of paper. This categories thing should expand here soon. But there's 10 pages of apps for this HP Quick Forms. You can see there's all kinds of paper you can print out from there. So here's all your different categories you can choose from. For example, calendar. You can install Google Calendar app to print your daily, monthly Google Calendar, etc. So that's ePrint Center. That's just all your stuff that you're going to do online over the web. Shop for HP supplies, help. How do I? There's all animations here. Utility should be all the head cleaning, etc. Printer setup and software, which is a link down here. Print and scan doctor, improvement study, HP upgrade, and a lot of that stuff's available down here. And then your estimated ink levels. So this is the printer assistant, which is available on the desktop. Okay, this estimated ink level opens up this something called toolbox. Here's your estimated ink levels. Tells you the number of the cartridge. It allows you to shop for cartridges online. Device services, print quality diagnostics, reports, diagnostic information, status reports. We already looked at that. Stop. Device information, giving us network settings, serial number, firmware levels, advanced settings. There's your ink alerts once again. Show them right away. Only when I print, and then this is HP cartridge protection. So it says if I enable this cartridge, I can only use the cartridge in this printer. I can't put it in a different printer. And this is, you can take cartridges out and switch them around with impunity. So that is the estimate ink levels toolbox. And then finally, let's see if we can get to this HP printer assistant through the devices and printers. Like I said, you can get it here, you can get it here. Okay, so when I click on the printer, and we have a different version of the HP printer assistant, but it's basically, you can get to the printer assistant here. So it's not a different version. It's really not much. You used to be able to get a full-blown version of the printer assistant by clicking on the printer. Now basically it allows you to access the printer assistant, set preferences, see what's printing, customize a printer. Same thing you can do just by right-clicking on the printer itself.